Hello, this is Justin7 with sportsbookreview.com. I've been out of the loop for a while, had a nasty case of the creeping crud, but I'm back and we're back in the game. This week I'm going to teach you how to figure out the break-even percentage on any type of parlay. Now, who cares? Why do you care? A lot of times you'll find bargains if you can find parlays that have non-standard payouts. Now, it was Poster Moonbeam who said the only math you need to win at gambling you can figure out by 8th grade. And that's not too far from the truth. If you can do algebra, you can figure out a lot of things. And we're going to use algebra to solve some of these problems here. To warm up, we're going to look at the break-even percentage just on a flat bet. Now, when you're figuring out the break-even percentage, you want to come up with an equation that has two parts. You need to have the first part that shows what your expected winnings are. And if you look here, say you're making a $100 bet with a probability of X to win. This first part represents your winnings. The second part is your expected loss. If you lose a $100 bet, you lose 110 with the juice. And you're going to lose that 1 minus X, where X is the percentage chance of you winning. Now, since it's break even, that means these two are the same. It'll add up to 0. You solve, just algebraically, and the break-even percentage for a regular bet laying $110 to win 100 is 52.4%. Now, the hardest part in solving the break-even for a parlay is to get the initial equation right. So let's look at the initial equation for a two-team parlay. Here is our winning segment. We have to win 2 legs. X is a probability of us winning a single leg. X squared is a probability of us winning 2 separate legs at the same time. 260 is our winnings, which will win X squared percent of the time. If we don't, we're losing 1 minus X squared. So if we're winning half the time, we're going to lose this parlay 75% of the time. 1 minus X squared is how frequently we lose. 100 is our losses in that example. Using straight algebra, you just carry it down, solve it, and you see that the break-even on a two-team parlay, or retail parlay, is 52.7%. Now, what this tells you is you're better off just betting a straight side than ever doing a parlay unless you have something else going on, like a correlated parlay or trying to get larger bets. But for most bettors, you should never take a two-team parlay at 2.6 to 1 because you're better off, your break-even is lower, laying 110. The next example I'm going to use is actually from Bet Online. They have 3-team parlays that pay 7 to 1. So for this example, we're going to pretend you're looking at the break-even percentage for a $100 bet on a 3-team parlay that pays 7 to 1. Once again, the most important part in solving this is getting the right starting equation, and then the rest will just be easy. Our winnings will be $700 on a $100 bet, and we'll win it by winning 3 consecutive legs. If we win each leg X% of the time, the odds of us winning 3 consecutive ones is X cubed. If we lose $100. We'll lose it all the time that we don't win 3 consecutive legs. If we win X cubed percent of the time, we'll lose 1 minus X cubed. Once you get this initial starting equation, the rest is easy. You'll solve it, you'll get X cubed equals 1/8, and you can even solve that without a calculator. And you'll see that the break-even percent on Bet Online's 3-teamers is 50%. So you look at that parlay possibility, the break-even percentage on this play is actually less than doing a straight bet. So the house edge, there's no house edge, and there's a real opportunity using 3-team parlays to make money. Now, one warning when you're playing parlays, because you're only winning about, in this example, 1/8 of the time instead of a half the time, your amount that you risk has to be substantially less. You know, I would estimate on an 8-team parlay, you'd be betting 1/4 as much as you would on any single straight bet, and that's if you're making no other bets. The risk management in parlays is a very complex topic that I may do on another day. All right, now that I have you thinking a little bit about break-even on parlays, I want you to take a look at another kind of parlay, and that's a teaser. As a review, we're going to look and see what is the break-even on a 2-team 6-point teaser at even money. Now, just like with the regular parlays we were doing earlier, you need to get a good break-even equation. On a 2-team parlay, let X be the odds of you winning any given leg. On a $100 wager, you will win it X squared percent of the time because you need to win both legs, and each leg will win X percent of the time. If you lose your $100 wager, your loss will be $100. You'll lose that 1 minus X squared. Again, X squared is how often you win both legs. 1 minus X squared is how often you lose one or both legs. Solving it, you get 200x squared minus 100 equals 0. X squared equals 100 over 200. And your break-even percent for a two-team teaser is 70.7. Now this is what they call the golden teasers, the really good ones, two-team even money. And there aren't many books that offer that, because if they're offering a market on something where the break-even is 70.7 on a 6-point teaser, and the wise guys are routinely hitting 75%, they're going to get buried. So you don't see these very often. Now we're going to look at another kind of teaser. We're going to look at Pinnacle's 6-team 6-point teasers and see what the break-even is on that. With Pinnacle's 6-team 6-point teaser, the payout is 7 to 1. So in this example, say you're risking $100, your payout would be $700. You will win it X raised to the 6th time. If the odds of you winning each leg are X, where X is a percentage, X to the 6th will be the odds of you winning that whole teaser. If you lose, your loss will be 100. You will lose that 1 minus X to the 6th time. Realize if X to the 6th is, just say it's 14%, 1 minus that 14, or 86% will be how often you lose that. This is equal to 0. You solve it, and it reduces to X to the 6th equals 1/8. Now something interesting you can do with that, when you know that X to the 6th equals 1/8, if you take the cube root of that equation, you have X squared equals 1/2. And you'll recognize this as the equation from a two-team teaser. So what this tells you is that Pinnacle's 6-team teaser, paying 7 to 1, for break-even purposes is identical to a two-team teaser at good odds, at even money. Now anytime you see a parlay offering at any book or on a parlay card, the first thing you should do is look and say, what is the break-even percentage? If you do this at every chance you get, you're going to find a lot of opportunity that the sportsbooks don't realize is there. That's all for today. If you have any gambling related questions, feel free to write me at justin@sportsbookreview.com.